Listen, she might smile, she might laugh, she might even look unstoppable, but deep down, she's fighting a war you can't see. Here's the truth most people miss. Low self-esteem doesn't always look like sadness. It doesn't always ask for help. Sometimes it hides behind perfection, behind kindness, behind control. The woman sitting next to you right now might look confident, but when she's alone, she doubts everything: her worth, her beauty, her place in this world. What if the strongest woman you know secretly doubts her own worth? Today, you'll learn what others can't see, and more importantly, how to handle it the right way. This is ThinkWise, where we explore the psychology behind human behavior. Stay with me. Low self-esteem doesn't always cry for help. Sometimes it wears a mask, a perfect one. It hides behind a beautiful smile, behind impressive achievements, behind the words, "I'm fine." But here's what most people don't understand. The most confident woman in the room might be the one who feels the least worthy when she's alone. She's learned to act strong, to look perfect, to never let the cracks show. But the cracks are there, deep inside. And if you know what to look for, you'll see them. So let's break down 10 real psychological signs that reveal what's really happening beneath the surface. And I'll show you how to respond without making it worse. Here at ThinkWise, we believe understanding changes everything. Sign 1, she rejects compliments. You tell her she looks beautiful. She laughs it off. She changes the subject. She says, "No, not really." You think it's humility, but it's not. It's disbelief. Her mind can't accept the positive reflection because deep down, she doesn't believe it's true. When you look at her, you see beauty. When she looks at herself, she sees flaws. This is the gap low self-esteem creates. So how do you respond? Don't argue with her. Don't force the compliment. Instead, show appreciation through presence, through consistency. Let your actions prove what your words can't. Sign 2, she over-apologizes for everything. Sorry for being late. Sorry for bothering you. Sorry for texting. Sorry for existing. She apologizes for things that don't need apology. This isn't politeness, it's fear. Chronic apology is a learned defense mechanism. She's afraid of disapproval, afraid of being too much, afraid of taking up space. So she shrinks herself with every sorry. How should you respond? Tell her this: you don't have to apologize for being human. Remind her that her presence isn't a burden, it's a gift. Sign 3, she downplays her achievements. She worked hard. She succeeded. She did the impossible. But when you congratulate her, she says it was nothing, even when she's done everything. This is how low self-esteem protects itself. Her mind minimizes success because if she celebrates, she risks rejection or envy or being seen as arrogant. So she makes herself small, even in victory. How do you respond? Celebrate her quietly, not to boost her ego, but to remind her she matters. Say this: what you did was incredible, and I see it. Sign 4, she overthinks simple messages. You text her, "See you soon," and she replays it 10 times. Wondering if you're upset, if something's wrong, if she did something. This is emotional hypervigilance. Low self-esteem creates it. Her brain scans for danger in neutral words because she's used to rejection, used to things going wrong. So she reads threat where there is none. So how do you respond? Reassure through clarity, not overcompensation. Be simple, be direct, be stable. Stability heals anxiety. Sign 5, she avoids eye contact when vulnerability. When the conversation gets real, she looks away. When emotions surface, her eyes drop. This isn't rudeness, it's fear. Eye contact feels like exposure, like being fully seen. And when you feel unworthy, being seen is terrifying. She fears that if you look too close, you'll see what she sees. Something broken, something not enough. How do you respond? Give her space, not pressure. Let her open up at her own pace. Safety grows trust, and trust takes time. Sign 6, she's a perfectionist. Everything has to be flawless. Her appearance, her work, her tone, her home. You think it's pride, but it's not. It's fear. The fear of being unworthy if she's imperfect. She believes that her value depends on being perfect, because anything less feels like failure. So she exhausts herself, trying to be enough. How do you respond? Appreciate her efforts, not her image. Tell her this: I don't need you to be perfect. I just need you to be you. Sign 7, she settles for less than she deserves. She stays in toxic relationships. She accepts disrespect. She calls it being understanding. but it's not understanding. It's survival. She equates love with endurance, not joy. She thinks that if she can just tolerate enough, she'll finally be worthy of staying. This is what low self-esteem does. It convinces her that pain is normal, that she doesn't deserve better. How do you respond? Don't lecture her. Don't force advice. Instead, remind her through actions what healthy love feels like. Show her respect. Show her kindness. Show her she deserves more. Sign 8. She overgives and underreceives. She's always the helper, never the helped. She gives endlessly, but when someone tries to give back, she resists. She says, "I'm fine, I don't need anything." But that's not true. Giving becomes her survival strategy, a way to feel worthy. Because if she's useful, she has value. If she's needed, she matters. But she struggles to receive, because receiving feels vulnerable. How do you respond? Let her receive without guilt. Say this, "Let me do this for you, not because you need it, but because I care." That's real love, not dependency. Sign 9. She avoids complaining even when hurt. She says it's fine, even when it's not. She hides her pain. She swallows her hurt. She pretends everything's okay. Because conflict feels dangerous. Silence feels safer. She learned early that expressing needs leads to rejection, so she stopped expressing them. Now she suffers quietly, alone. How do you respond? Listen between the lines. Care enough to ask again. Say this, "I know you said you're fine, but I want to hear how you really feel." Create space for honesty, without judgment. Sign 10. She's constantly comparing herself to others. Every scroll, every post, every friend becomes a mirror of what she thinks she lacks. She's prettier, she's smarter, she's more successful. This is the trap of external validation. Her self-worth depends on measurement, on competition, on being better than someone else. And it's exhausting, because no matter how much she achieves, there's always someone ahead. How do you respond? Help her reconnect with intrinsic value. Remind her she's not in a race. Say this, "Your worth isn't measured by anyone else's life. It's yours alone." Here's what you need to understand. Low self-esteem doesn't always look weak. Sometimes it looks unstoppable until she's alone with her thoughts. Behind every overconfident smile is a heart that learned to fake strength to survive. She learned to perform, to appear fine, to never let anyone see the doubt. But the doubt is there, and it whispers every night, telling her she's not enough. So when you see these signs, remember this. You're not seeing weakness. You're seeing courage. The courage to keep going, even when she doesn't believe in herself. At ThinkWise, we know that true wisdom starts with compassion. Don't fix, understand. She doesn't need saving. She needs safety. She doesn't need advice. She needs acceptance. Don't respond to her walls with walls of your own. Respond with presence. Be patient, not pushy. Validate her emotions, not her behavior. And show consistency, because consistency is the medicine for insecurity. When she knows you'll stay, she starts to believe she's worth staying for. When she sees your patience, she learns she doesn't have to be perfect. When she feels your acceptance, she begins to accept herself. This is how healing happens, not through grand gestures, but through steady, quiet love. If you see yourself in these signs, listen to me. Awareness isn't weakness. It's healing. The fact that you recognize these patterns means you're already changing. You're already growing. And if you see someone else in these signs, understand this. Your kindness might just be the mirror that helps her see her worth again. You don't have to fix her. You don't have to solve everything. Just be present, be kind, be patient. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for someone's self-esteem is believe in them until they learn to believe in themselves. Because belief is contagious, and love, real love, reminds us who we really are. If this opened your eyes, comment "aware" below and share it with someone who hides behind strength. You might just change how they see themselves. If you want more content like this, subscribe to ThinkWise. We post new psychology insights every week.